It's been a decade, but the wait is finally over. Super Mario Bros. Wonder marks the plumber's return to traditional 2D platforming. The roster's bigger, the stakes are higher, and Mario and friends ascend to wacky new heights of power, with elephant fruits, bubble flowers, and the reality-warping wonder effects of the mysterious Wonder Flowers. But we gotta ask, is this yet another straightforward good guys versus bad guys Mario platformer? Or are there some unexpected secrets that pop up? This is Super Mario Bros. Wonder characters good to evil. Now, as usual, we'll be starting off with our purest and most heroic character before working our way down to the most evil. These characters are the good. With so many adventurers coming along for the ride this time, competition for the gold medal of good is pretty fierce, and we're just narrowly awarding it to the man in red himself, Mario. This has not been the first time Mario has jumped to the defense of a neighboring land, and in the Flower Kingdom, he's got to deal with the trippy effects of the local plants in addition to the usual menace of Bowser and his goons.
Here we go! Whee!
Sporting a new royal companion and even a new voice actor for the first time since he it's-a-me'd his way into our hearts back in Super Mario 64.
It's a me, Mario! Woohoo!
Mario's giving us a fresh spin on his familiar platforming prowess. Besides, if anyone's going to excel in a kingdom where flora allows you to defy the laws of physics, it's going to be the guy who's been chowing down on size-changing mushrooms for almost 40 years. Next up, just after Mario and claiming the silver medal of good like the dedicated player number 2 that he is, we have Luigi. He's taking a break from his solo haunted house hunting ventures to journey to the Flower Kingdom with his brother. It wouldn't be the first time they've taken a mission together to a neighboring country, and this time Luigi is actually going along willingly. He's the one showing off the game's new ability to glide with the power of parachute caps, one of the many new badge mechanics. It's a good thing this habitual scaredy cat isn't afraid of heights. We only wish Luigi could have brought along more of his own distinctive flair, like a Poltergust model on loan from EGAD, or one of his mechanized robots from Super Paper Mario. Those would have had some wild Wonder Flower effects. She may not have as many cool unique power-ups here as in her upcoming starring role, Princess Peach Showtime. But Princess Peach deserves the bronze medal of good for her role in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Unlike many of the exploits of Mario and friends, Bowser's target in Wonder isn't Peach's own kingdom, but that of one of her neighbors. Yet she still has no qualms about getting out there with everyone else and doing her part. That's what we call some hands-on diplomacy. We even get to see her warding off the unwanted affections of Bowser yet again in the game's promotional clips. While the Koopa King is really into Peach's new elephant form. Hey Bowser, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. It's still impossible not to feel bad for her having to deal with a guy who just can't grasp that no means no. Even when Peach isn't being captured, she still just can't catch a break from Bowser. At least her friend, Princess Daisy, doesn't have to worry about any villainous admirers. Peach's yellow-clad counterpart is right at home in the Flower Kingdom with its vibrant and life-altering blooms. So it's fitting that Super Mario Bros. Wonder marks her first outing as a playable character in a mainline Mario game. Daisy's flinging fireballs and triggering wild Wonder Flower effects with the rest of the gang, finally free to show us all what she's been made of outside of her many spin-off appearances. She may not have merited the default Player 4 spot alongside Peach, but everyone can agree that this fan-favorite princess makes for a welcome addition to the main roster. And joining her from the lineups of various new Super Mario Bros. Games come the most active of the Mushroom Kingdom's ordinary residents, Blue and Yellow Toad and Toadette. The two Toads reprise their role as multiplayer options from New Super Mario Bros. Wii, while Toadette marks her second playable appearance in a platformer since New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. This trio of tourists might have been hoping for a laid-back royal visit with the plumbers and the princesses, but what they get is a whirlwind tour of a Flower Kingdom under siege. And they're gonna have to show the world that they're not just filler options in the character selector screen, and distinguish themselves as pint-sized heroes in their own right. To help out in that endeavor, Toadette has shaken off her easy mode designation from U Deluxe. The four Yoshis take her place in New Super Mario Bros. Wonder, bringing with them their familiar abilities from their own games, along with a complete invulnerability to enemies.
Yoshi!
The Yoshis may not be able to use any of Wonder's power-ups, but their unique gameplay style more than makes up for it. And they can even pull double duty by serving as mounts for other characters. We almost wish their invincibility was optional, for players who want to enjoy some Yoshi Island style fun while not missing out on the game's challenge. At least these fluttering dinosaurs come in a variety of colors to really allow you to pick your favorite for a casual run. Also, we're giving the Yoshis the gluttony medal, as expected for characters whose preferred method of dealing with baddies is gobbling them up. Now, it's definitely true that in the world of Mario, not all heroes wear capes. Prince Florian, however, does. The ruler of the Flower Kingdom tags along with the visiting adventurers when Bowser takes over his castle and terrorizes his people. He serves as the group's guide, sharing his knowledge of the land's wondrous plant life. Florian also hops on the Player 1 character's shoulders, displaying badges atop his crown that enhance or modify gameplay in a variety of ways. Needless to say, those will come in handy when it's time to tackle the game's many badge challenges. This little wiggler may not be able to keep up with the Mushroom Kingdom's plumbers, like Peach or Daisy, but he's no less of an active royal when his innocent subjects' lives are on the line. In fact, we're placing Florian just above the last member of the playable roster, Nabbit. This isn't because he's an easy mode option like the Yoshis. Instead, it's an indication of Nabbit's signature sticky fingers. He can't use power-ups, but he will turn them into flower coins for use in the kingdom's many shops. It's not clear if this thief genuinely wants to help the good guys or is merely looking to grab his share of the Flower Kingdom's riches, but in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, at least he just barely ekes out a spot in the good section. Of course, Nabbit also nabs our greed medal, and there isn't really an explanation for that needed. With the good section wrapped up, we now move into more neutral territory. These characters fall in the moral gray area. The many denizens of the Flower Kingdom, the Poplins and the Talking Flowers, aren't bad folks by any means. Many of them are happy to offer Mario and his friends advice or provide them with valuable goods and passageways through the land in exchange for flower coins.
You found me!
The locals of the Fungi Mines even try to be proactive and discover a royal seed on their own. But the majority of these guys don't directly get involved in the main quest, keeping them out of the strictly good category. Some of the Poplins in particular don't seem to comprehend the severity of the crisis gripping their kingdom. Master Poplin of Shining Falls withholds a royal seed from the heroes until they can pass his trial, and many Poplin merchants will put Wonder Seeds up for sale despite how important they are for ousting Bowser and his minions. Everybody's got to make a living, but come on. As for the Talking Flowers, their quips are occasionally useful, but they're also prone to getting on players' nerves.
I like life on the slow side.
What do you think this is? Twitch?
Yay!
They may not always be the most helpful, but we get why the Poplins are hanging around doing what they do. Captain Toad, not so much. You'll come across this treasure-hunting little guy in out-of-the-way spots on the world map, and he'll reward your careful exploration with flower coins. That's a nice gesture and all, but what exactly is Captain Toad doing trekking to the most obscure locations in the Flower Kingdom? Does he have a lead on some fabulous treasure that he doesn't want to share with the other characters, and is trying to bribe them with coins instead? At least in Super Mario Odyssey, he gives out the more valuable power moons when found. Just what exactly are you hiding, Captain Toad? Super Mario Bros. Wonder expertly blurs the lines between Mario's allies and foes.
You don't see that every day.
Case in point, the big wigglers. In other games, these anger-prone caterpillars are best avoided, but here they're tough but fair competitors in a race for Wonder Seeds. Like the Poplins, the wigglers hold tight onto these precious items, but if the heroes can defeat them in a race, they'll find the seeds ready for the taking. It turns out that all it takes for a wiggler to play fair is to not stomp on their heads, which we have to admit is very reasonable. Continuing down the ranks of franchise bad guys, it's a real surprise to find King Boo narrowly scraping his way out of the evil designation. The villain of Luigi's Mansion only manifests in Super Mario Bros. Wonder as a cameo, and yet his presence as a Wonder Flower effect is noticeably more subdued than in most of his previous appearances. His all-consuming rage at the Mario Brothers is nowhere to be found, and in its place, he's simply providing another stage hazard in a ghost house in the Fungi Mines, and later on before the final confrontation with Bowser. Compared to his usual vengeful ferocity, King Boo is downright tame in this game. No particular hatred towards Mario or Luigi, no devious plan to trap everybody in portraits. He's still not a good guy by any means, but in Wonder, King Boo is no more actively malicious than any other regular stage enemy, and even gets a sing-along with his fellow Boos in the ghost house. and that counts as an improvement in our book. And with that said, we finally arrived at the most wicked baddies in the game. These characters are the bad and the evil. The villains of Super Mario Bros. Wonder are a tight bunch, so there's only 3 of them to take the top spots. The bronze medal of evil has to go to Kamek, the lowest of the game's baddie triumvirate. The cunning Magic Koopa doesn't have much to do in this game compared to some other titles. Here, he's tasked only with conjuring airships to block the heroes' paths along the way to their objectives. Kamek doesn't even fight Mario and friends directly, instead relying on the airship's complement of Koopa soldiers and automated artillery to do the dirty work for him. He's not going to win any villain awards with that little effort. If the Koopalings had bothered to come along on this mission, Kamek's wouldn't even be in the running for top Bowser minion. For a bad guy who genuinely earns his ranking, we've got to check out our silver medal of evil holder, Bowser Jr. As ever, Jr.'s all over the board with his dad's plan to conquer the Flower Kingdom, and he's taken up residence in the land's palaces to spread misery and mayhem to its inhabitants. He's at his worst in the sun-baked desert, where he hoards all the region's water for himself and leaves the local poplands in danger of wilting from dehydration. Mario and friends must venture into the corrupted palaces and reclaim the royal seeds from Bowser Jr., with the brat harnessing the energy of Bowser's stolen Wonder Flower. That's gonna be easier said than done. Facing a foe who can warp the fabric of reality around him is a tall order, and Junior's cunning enough to come up with all sorts of clever applications for those powers. But of course, he's got nothing on his old man. Frequent Gold Medal of Evil winner Bowser is back and scarier than ever in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and this time he's diversifying his villain portfolio. He's not out to kidnap any princesses or even hijack the Flower Kingdom's castle like he did to Peach back in Paper Mario. No, Bowser uses the power of a Wonder Flower to become the castle, raining darkness down on the land from his lofty perch in the center of the Petal Isles. He loves to boast about the awesome wonder he's got in store for everyone once he's built up enough power, and while we never get to learn exactly what he's got planned, we just know it can't be anything good. Bowser will pull out all the stops to defend himself from the heroes of the Mushroom Kingdom, and it'll take all their skills and experience with wonder effects to prevail. We're also awarding Bowser with 2 additional medals. First, the Pride Medal for his arrogant command of the Wonder Flower's power, and second, the Lust Medal, because even when she's not being captured, Peach is still fending off the Koopa King's advances. But if he could ever learn to take a hint about anything, he just wouldn't be Bowser, would he?